No,
Cool.
no problem.
Yep, so we're starting with wins for the week.
Yeah, wins for the week. So I think one win was to realize there is a new idea about how to get more users to
Yeah,
my SaaS. That's one win I want to share with you.
for sure.
About share your win for
Yeah, so my win this week was we really made a lot of progress with the like improvements to the SaaS in terms of those key features that I felt would just make it useful as a product. And also we really nailed down, we have a plan now for how we're going to actually launch it and introduce it to people,
okay.
which was something that we didn't really have until now, which is actually really the hard part. Really, it's, you can build anything, but can you sell it? That's a different story. So we have a strategy that puts together like the consulting with the actual product so that it's just a more compelling offer. And other than that, it's pretty much just been a good week just because like I just felt like the network effects of the community and everything really started working this week. Like I was between speaking with you and speaking with also other people in the community who they reach out to me through DM. It's been good just in terms of I've been able to show people the software and to talk to people, have positive conversations with people. Yeah, it was a good week on in both of those ways. And also I have somebody who's interested in doing consulting with me for
Oh,
something related to do with the Amazon API because I have experience with it. So yeah, it's been a good week. Just feels like kind of everything moving in the right direction. So yeah, that was a few wins for me this week.
excellent, excellent. Good to
Yeah,
hear. So
for sure.
I think probably when you launch your SaaS, you need to go to Product Hunt, right? Do you know
Yeah,
this?
I'm like scared of Product Hunt. I don't know why. I feel like my product has to be like really, I don't know. Maybe you know what? I don't know anything about Product Hunt, so I can't even say anything about it. But I know it's a good tool. Like people have succeeded
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, the first time I launched my SaaS in Product Hunt, I didn't get like a lot of uh,
Upvotes.
thumbs up, right?
Yeah.
Like positive because I don't know, maybe I didn't put the correct images there, or maybe I did something wrong in during the launch. So yeah,
Well, I heard about the thing with Product Hunt is like I heard from one person who launches onto Product Hunt,
yep.
and the way he described it was like, I'm gonna launch, and then he's gonna be ready with like alternate accounts to upvote his own product. So I realized when I heard that it just reminded me of Reddit a little bit because some
Yeah,
people do that with Reddit. And I guess so. I think that I'm not saying that you have to game the system to succeed on Product Hunt because I don't
yeah,
know much about Product Hunt, but all I'm saying is that other people are probably gaming the system to succeed on Product Hunt. Like you don't necessarily have to do that, but that's what it's. But for some people, that's what it's become. Where it's a they don't just upload and they just wait to see what naturally happens. They're gaming the system a little bit, but maybe that well, I'm sure that's not everybody, but the way people are, like everything
yeah.
eventually.
And you know what? I never thought about that idea of having other accounts and
Yeah,
just
they just go on other
increasing the
computers and they're just like as
yeah.
soon as they launch, they want a few thumbs like really quickly to just to influence the wave of people to be like, oh,
Yeah.
other people like this, so I like it too.
I get it. This week I found a new idea, and
Mhm.
it's about Product Hunt. So basically, I was thinking that I can extract the emails
Yeah.
from Product Hunt users,
Okay.
right? Only with the link to a Product Hunt user
Yeah.
or to a product, right? I can, and I did this week. I did some experiments, and
Mhm.
I was able to convert not 100% of the links, but
Yeah.
maybe 5% of the links to validate
Yeah. Yeah.
emails.
Okay.
So my idea was, okay, maybe phase one is I need to grab a lot of emails from Product Hunt using my tool. And then when I launch my product on the launch day, I can just send emails to
All
cold
these
emails
people.
to all these people like, hey, just can you please give me a review to my SaaS? And you know
Yeah,
that could be an idea, right?
I think so.
Uh,
Well, I also think that in general, I think you have to send out a lot of emails to get people to respond. Even if you send, you know how people are like how many cold emails do you answer? Do I
yeah,
answer? Probably a few. So I So I guess all I'm saying is that if you wanted, you could probably just, if you made alternate accounts, you would get probably the results that you want more quicker, but that could also work. Like if you were able to scrape a lot of emails, then yeah, I think it would be equivalent to the upvoting yourself method. But I think in itself, the more interesting thing there is the idea that you can even find people's emails from Product Hunt, more than the fact that of whatever you would do with it. But it's cool that you can get those people's emails.
Yeah, and I think it's worth it to try the idea, right? I think
Might as well try. Throw something at the wall and see if it sticks.
yeah, exactly. Here's it's like that when you're doing a SaaS, it's just trying to throw
Throwing.
all the stones and see
Yeah.
what
You
thing
gotta keep throwing.
work.
You gotta just keep throwing stuff, and sometimes you just don't have the luxury of getting a whole lot of data to find out if you just have to figure out very quickly if it's working or not, and just make a decision and just move on or decide to double down. You don't have the luxury of an extended of a whole bunch of data for
Exactly, and it's difficult, right? Because for example, it would take me like 2 days just to finish this new, I will say, this tool to
Mhm.
grab emails from Product Hunt.
Yeah,
So it's an effort from my side, right? That I am not
yeah,
sending or I am not writing like posts or I am not doing any marketing at all.
yeah. It takes
But
away from something else.
exactly, it's difficult. But you here is like a battlefield, right? You have to throw all your resources and try to bet. I feel this is going to do something. And just prepare and just track the results and see what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, this week was interesting because so from the people that I was reaching out to, I reached out to one person who he's actually in the community, and he gave me really good advice. And it was like, let me see if I could find it. But it was just he asked me literally like 3 questions. And I thought the questions were just really good. So I'm just gonna quickly share my screen
Yep.
because it
Okay.
summed it up. I felt like in terms of just it cuts right to the heart of what I think anyone should be focusing on. And this is all he said was like, who is this for? Do you have any client examples? And is this a really painful problem that you are solving? Right. And I was just thinking about this is really just very clear. Like these 3 points is all that you really need to, if you can answer these 3 things, then you pretty much have a product that solves a problem that someone wants. You need proof that you've helped somebody before, that somebody's actually using it from the past, because nobody knows the future. The past is always a really good indicator of truth because it's just people's past actions will tell you about the future. And just knowing who this is for, this is a really hard question. Actually, it took me a while to really answer this question because it should be really specific. Like it's not even like even just saying that it's for salespeople is not specific enough. It's like how much revenue do they make per month, and what's the size of their sales team, and what type of product do they sell? And this question, which is this a really painful problem that you are solving? And that's really hard because this is something I'm always searching for, which is what's the most shitty part of somebody's day? Like what's the thing when they open their eyes in the morning that's like that's the thing that they just can't even stand. They don't want to do that day. That's the type of problem that I want to solve. And I mean, there's a lot of problems like that, but you have to find one that can solve with a SaaS product. So
Yeah.
I just thought this was good advice
Uh,
that he was giving, that he was
yeah, it's a
sending
good
my way.
advice. I think those 3 questions are the questions, right? That you need to answer. Yeah, who is this for? That's always difficult to answer at the beginning because you are like, hey, I am not I don't know who is my ideal client,
Yeah, or a
basically.
lot of people are like, it's for everybody. Like, which is
Exactly.
that's not good.
Yeah, yeah, that's a difficult question at the beginning, or even when you are, even if you have some, even later on, right?
Like,
Exactly.
you might have that answer can change really
Yeah.
drastically, and it can also be scary to decide on this because then you feel like, oh, I've closed so many doors. If someone comes to my landing page and it clearly says we're for this type of sales team of this size, then like the fear is that who are we closing the door on? But I think that there's actually a lot of strength in narrowing down as much as it comes with sacrifice. So
Exactly.
That's always a scary thing. It was like, because you do have to close the door, and then you do have to say, this is, who is this for, and then decide like you're going to commit to. Nothing's permanent, but whenever people come to the page, it's better to speak directly to somebody than to try to not be clear who you are speaking to, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And also I think the it has to be a painful problem, because
Yeah,
usually when that happens, the person is willing to give you money just to
yeah,
remove that
just to
problem
remove the
from
pain, just
the
to,
pain. Yeah, I just want to forget about this pain and just
yeah.
take my money.
Yeah, and also another thing that he also sent me some other resources that and something that I went through in the stuff he sent and I thought was interesting was he was saying that, or in what he sent to me, what it was saying was that it's good to try to categorize your product. Like some people, they try to, because people understand categories. So like some people, they'll create a product and then they try to create a new category for it, which is hard for people to understand versus if you just, let's say you made an AI chatbot and you
Mhm.
just say somewhere in your landing page it just says this is an AI chatbot and people understand it's an AI chatbot, it's in that category, or it's a time-saving tool, or it's a product research tool, or it has to have if you have a category that you can put onto your landing page, that would help people understand more quickly what it is. So there's a lot of the stuff that I was thinking about in the last few days was to do with like really the landing page and sales and all that stuff and positioning, because that's what moves the needle. That's what, you know,
Exactly,
leads to revenue.
exactly. It's difficult, right? To just
It,
also because I think when you are alone in this path, sometimes I
you
think
can
you
go
need another
crazy.
person, right? Just to
Yeah.
if you are correct, or as we discussed before, your mother is not a good
Yeah, she just wants to
indicator,
make you
right?
happy feelings.
But yeah, yeah. So I think the phone is ringing, but there is someone below.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think I want to show you
yeah, of
one
course.
email that someone sent me this week. I think it was interesting. Let me just show you the email. One
Yeah, for
second.
sure.
I don't know if I need to just don't show the name of the company, because
If you do show it, I'll just blur it out. In
oh,
the I'll
okay,
put like I can edit the video, I'll just put like a blur or something.
okay, just to, because I don't know, but I think it was interesting. Just to Let me just share this. One second.
Yep.
I was talking with one person that he also used to have a SaaS,
Oh,
a
okay.
SaaS, and we were talking about that his idea was really good. At some point he was a competitor of my software, right?
Okay.
Because he also offered like fuzzy matching
Hmm.
tools, and I also offer the same thing only for company names. So one thing that it really, his software just was shut down last year, right?
Why?
And
Do you know why?
he said that it was like he needs to rewrite the front end, of his software
Okay.
entirely. I said,
Why?
okay, why, right? Why you maybe? And I was a little bit of afraid of my own software, because I said, wow, I
You don't
why
want to make the
someone
same mistake.
exactly, I don't want to make the same mistake. Why
Yeah.
someone will rewrite the entire front end?
Yeah.
Probably because the maybe one idea that I thought was maybe the software is using some open source software, and there is a new version of that open source, and there are some updates that he cannot do, right, with the last version. He needs the new version, and but the new version.
It's really hard to say unless he would have to tell you, because that's a really extreme situation. Usually, if you build your own thing, you don't have to. Usually, you have to rewrite something when it's somebody else's work that you're trying to continue, right? Like someone brought you onto a project and said, "Oh, we had a dev shop build." Then it's okay. We have to really rework it, but it's his own software, so it's a little bit concerning.
Yeah, yeah, and like this also, there is another software that I was following and also disappear. I was like, wow, this there are many SaaS software where you obtain some motivation, and at some
Yeah,
point they
get some
disappear,
direction from
and
them
you're
and
like,
kind of learn from them.
and you say, hey, wow, what's happening? These people just maybe they have valid reasons just to stop working on this. And I think they have their reasons. I don't know, but I think this is something that you need to continue. If you like this path, it's a difficult path to follow.
Well, you have
You
to
are,
adapt, right? You have
yeah,
to, if he got to the point where you have to rewrite or you have to do something like that, or whatever situation is, you always have to be prepared to adapt and move on, because that's the game, right? It's like somebody, if you're not willing to do that, then somebody else will come in with maybe that person with more motivation, more energy or whatever, and they'll just continue or to adapt, whatever the circumstances are. And that's the painful
exactly,
part of it sometimes too, right? Is
exactly.
that the whole thing can just, it can require something from you that you have to you have to figure out a way to do it, or that's it. There's no
There is no,
it's not like a job where it's everything is fine, it's okay, you'll still get your paycheck next week. It's not like you only, this is all based on, it's you have to, every day is just you in the market.
and that's difficult. It's difficult, but also it's rewarding more. I think more
Yeah,
than nine to five
it is
day
rewarding.
job. It's
Yeah.
rewarding because
Yeah, the interesting thing here is, okay, so he disappeared. It's weird. I don't know, that's weird.
yeah. But I like the last sentence that says many people try, don't even get to launch
yeah,
their
that's
idea.
true.
Hats off for launching your own SaaS business. That's really powerful because many people they don't even launch a SaaS. They always want to do something or they always want to, but they never put the work, do the effort to just launch something.
Yeah, because the difference between an idea and like a product is the different the amount of work between those 2 points is so huge. It's, and you have 1,000 headaches between going from an idea to an actual product that most people, they don't even like, they'll never cross that bridge. So just even the fact that you can go from A to B and actually launch, it takes a lot of grit to go through that, just pure determination and grit to do that. And yeah, there's a very big difference between just talking about something and actually doing it. There's, the reality is, I swear to a lot of people, if they knew how hard it would be, I'm sure I've heard about this, like where there's a lot of successful people where they're like, if they knew how hard it was going to be, they would have never done it. Even though they succeeded, they look back and they're just like, holy crap, it was hard. It was harder than they thought it was. And but it is rewarding because, like you also learn a lot too, right? I feel like it just makes you tough, and that's it. Like something that you made yourself.
And also I think you learn new things, like you learn marketing, you learn how to program several
Yeah, you learn it all.
languages,
You learn everything. I think like
everything.
we were saying last week, it's you are the janitor, you are the plumber, the CEO, you're everything. And that's a good thing to get that experience, right?
The
Like
doctor also.
everything. Oh yeah, you're the therapist for yourself. And like
Therapist.
there's no there is not, it's very shitty. Like the shitty work is what you're doing. And it's not like a glorious position or anything. It's just a lot of shit work. But that's a good experience to do the shit work, because
Yeah,
people, they just have the wrong idea of what it takes to run a business. They're like, oh, I'm just gonna hire a bunch of freelancers. I'm gonna just sit back, relax, and they're gonna build the business around me. It's no, that never works.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
you. You are the person building it.
Exactly, exactly. And I was reading yesterday about that there are like two strategies about SaaS. So the first one is you have like seed money, like there is some investors that give you money and they are your stakeholders and you need to reach a new level of, and there are other SaaS businesses that are more like a lifestyle business. You are doing
Yeah,
not a lot of revenue, but just enough to live a comfortable life, right? And just have more
yeah.
free time.
I think everything is relative, right? It's, if you have 20 employees, then making $50,000 a month is like, to a bigger company doing that shit. But if you're one person, or even if you have two people and you're making $50,000 a month, that's really good. That's like really good money. So it's, I think it's all kind of relative, right? Like in the same thing, like you said, like an investor will expect you to go all the way. Like they want 100,000, 200,000 a month, 50, like they want more and more. But if you, after everything is said and done and you do all the math, if you don't have an investor and all these people to answer to, you don't need, you can actually achieve something that to a big company would be considered a failure, a financial failure for them, but for you, it's very profitable. So
Exactly. And I think you can become your own slave
yeah,
inside your SaaS, right? If
yeah,
you take that direction, that's a possibility, right? I mean, that you maybe start with a vision,
yeah.
right? But then there are some stakeholders or some investors that they have another vision, and you
You create
become,
your own prison. You've
you can,
created your own customized prison. And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and that's the worst type of prison. Nothing is worse than that prison than the one you created for yourself.
yeah,
That's a real nightmare because then you can't even leave it. It's not like a job you can just leave. You're just stuck. And yeah, that's not, I think then that's why it's important to begin with the end in mind. We have to start somehow knowing where you want to be and just always keep that very clear in every decision you make, because every decision that you make is eventually going to lead you there. If a person's not really aware that they can, oh, like I'm going to partner with this person, I'm going to take that guy's money, and then all of a sudden you just have a job, and then you're just like, what the hell did I do? I'm not a business owner. I work for somebody. Like this, I just work for another person, but just without any benefits.
exactly. So you have to be careful with those
Yeah,
type of decisions, and it's something that you never think at the beginning of this journey, but
yeah.
there there are some things that you need to be aware of, and I
And
think
when you're, because that's the thing with the whole journey is like, because there's a lot of times where you feel weak and you feel like you need help or you need something. And sometimes you can grab that hand that you think is helping you, but it's not a really great opportunity. It's just now it feels good. It's, oh, I'll take that person's money and he'll help me now, but it could really screw you. Or even to take, like, somebody asks you to do something that's not really the focus of like where you want to build your skills, and then you say, yeah, I'll do it for the money or whatever, and then now your business is changing. It's taking you away from what you wanted to, build your skills in or actually do. So I think that's a danger, and it's hard because sometimes it comes in the form of temporary relief, where it's like you need to make money today, or you need support today, but after you've said yes, and then where is it taking you? And that's the hard part, I think, is sometimes you got to say no to what seems like a good opportunity. And I've had to do that before with people where, like, they wanted me to do stuff that I just didn't want to. I didn't want to put myself in that direction. I didn't want to be necessarily like, for example, their idea would be like, oh, we want you to build software for us, but we want you to work for our team. Like, we want you to work with our designer. We're gonna call all the shots. We're gonna tell you what to do. And this is, I know, first of all, that the project's gonna be shit by the end, because none of you guys know what you're doing. Like, they're just trying to take control of everything. So sometimes you have to say no to certain things. They're trying to absorb you and take you away. And yeah, like, I know what you mean. It's
yeah,
uh
yeah, yeah, I get it.
it can feel good, but it's really hard. Those are the things that are hard to say no to, but they can save you, like, later on when you don't have to answer to those people. And then most of the time you look back and they just failed, like they just ended up in the gutter, like it.
Hmm.
And then they didn't end up going to it. Then you're like, oh, thank God I didn't tie myself to that situation.
Yeah, 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 I get it. I get it. That's correct. Sometimes you need to say no, even if it's hard, and just to
Yeah,
because you have to follow your vision, and you need to stick with your own vision and where you want to go, right?
you need to be stubborn a little bit. As much as people say
Yeah,
it's a good thing and a bad thing to be stubborn, but for it to be like, to go down this road, I think that you do need that quality of a bit of stubbornness, to
yeah.
a little bit of hard-headedness, a little bit of, you're gonna stick to what you want to do, and not really be shaken from that.
And hey, Robert, so what's your plan for next week?
Next week, actually, no, I just spoke a lot, so I want to hear your plan for next week first.
My plan for next week, I think, is I want to finish that product because I need to, the one that convert the Product Hunt link to email. I think it's going to be, I need to try if it's And also I want to launch my Matchcraft SaaS software in ProductHunt.
Yeah.
Just I will add the 2.0 version because I see that's like a strategy that people is using. Like they put 2.0, 3.0, right? If they
Yeah. Yeah.
relaunch the
Yeah.
product, that's one thing. Also, I want to start working in my services
Mhm.
because I added a new section in my landing page. So maybe I can share
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
you
Let's see.
just so here is my landing page. And as you can see, I have this new section called services.
Nice.
And those are the services that I want to provide. You know,
Nice.
so here are the services. And basically, I want to just next week, I want to put those services in Upwork and Reddit. Sorry, not Reddit, Fiverr and Upwork, I want to publish my services there.
Yeah.
And also, I found that also you can use those marketplaces
Promotion.
as a traffic source, as promotion for your own
Yeah.
SaaS.
Mm.
Another I will say promotion channel, right? That you
You
can
know,
use
at
to.
the very least, it gives you client results, right? Like people that you've helped, you can then put their testimonial on your website at the very minimum, right? And that's
Exactly, at the very minimum, and that is huge. That's correct. So this is my plan, just to provide services, and also I have products. Actually, I did this page, and I
nice.
like it because I put the images,
Looks
and
better. It looks definitely when you first posted your website in the group,
yeah,
and I'm just because I can remember what it was like before, and you've definitely improved it.
yeah. I don't know if I should put this. I don't know, and this is one question that I want to ask you. Maybe I put this part here. I added these icons
Nice.
here, but I don't know if I should put those boxes here instead of this image. And just
I think you would be sorry, could you go all the way to the top of the page? Find emails for your next ad campaign. Supercharge your growth, lead generation. It's actually pretty good. I like how it says exactly what you're going to do. It's very easy to understand. I think you changed it to Sue. This seems different. Your
yeah,
your headline because it just
yeah,
seems very clear now.
yeah. I changed it because maybe I can share with you one image that I have here that I posted. So it's like the before and after,
Yeah, this is
right?
better. This is definitely better because the other one is like hard to say. What does that mean exactly? But this is like
Yeah,
exactly what it does. So find emails for your next
ad
ads campaign.
campaign. Just maybe I need to rephrase this supercharge your growth
I would
because I
change
need to,
that. Yeah, I would change that to like maybe to describe exactly who you help.
yeah,
Right? What who is it? What's the size of their business? Who is it exactly? That
who
would be a
is,
good opportunity to put it there.
and also from where do you get the emails? From
Where
websites,
to
from
exactly? Just
product hunt,
yeah,
from
make it like really clear. Like what, how, what's the category? What's who do you help? What's your functional, the unique benefit, which you already have there, like find emails, but maybe you could even make that find emails for your next ads campaign, like somehow now that's a functional benefit, but then how can you turn it into a unique functional benefit?
exactly,
Because
exactly,
okay, find emails, that's good. That tells you exactly what it is, but like how can you make it so it's okay, what is it? It does it and it's unique. Like that takes a little bit of thinking about that, but it's
yeah,
definitely a
sorry.
lot more clear.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I think it's more clear. And also here, maybe here I need to do some convert company names and websites into valid email addresses to boost your company's revenue. And
Yeah,
I added the features.
yeah.
Uh, Here is just you can go to the product page. So you can put, for example, here you can see all the tools, right, that I offer. And if I click here, you go to the product page that looks like this,
Mhm.
right? And yeah, I think I did that this week.
Yeah,
And also here you can go to services, right? It's just
nice. I'm gonna work on my landing page too this week, so probably next week I'll tell you what I figure out from doing all of that. I've had good experience with making landing pages. Like I remember the very first landing page that I made got 30% email conversion, which was ridiculous. Like I didn't even know that was a good number because I had never made a landing page before. Then when I told people that it was like getting 30%, they were just like, what the hell? And that was just
Mhm.
like sometimes you make something and you don't have any experience. So out of your own ignorance, you just
Mhm.
end up doing something right.
Yeah.
It was out of my own ignorance, I just ended up making the most simple landing page because I just didn't know any better. And it turned out that people liked that very simple page that was just, let me see if I can find it. But it was just like ridiculously bare bones. And it did amazingly well in terms of, let me see if I can.
Yeah. I think this is like an art, right? This is not,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, you need to
psychology.
be, the psychology is difficult, right? At least for me, it's one of the toughest part of doing a SaaS is how to
Yeah,
put your landing page in the correct way. It's definitely,
it's it's one of the hardest things.
yeah,
And like you'll end up changing it so many times. Like it's actually important to just do it somehow, have a system for it and get it out of the way because it can end up becoming a very big sink of your time too. Like you just want to do it. It would just do it and move on if possible.
I spend changing things like 1 day, 2 days, just
It
forever.
never ends. It just never, that's one thing that would like always, it can take you spend like a whole week on it sometimes, or just changing this, changing that. It can be a big curse.
Exactly.
Why is it it can't remove this stupid thing? Sorry, just 1 second.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
okay.
trying
Okay.
to.
Do you want to share your screen so I can
Yeah,
just
I'm going to share my screen right now. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm going to share my screen now.
Yep.
And okay, so this wasn't, it didn't even have the below the fold at the time. So I'm just going to
Hmm.
share this is literally all it was. It was just this. When
Serious seller.
you have tried everything and you can't increase your sales, that's it. Put your email. That's the only option that you had on the page. That was it. You either put your email or you go away. Over 30% of people decided to put in their email. So like just by this was very illuminating for me because I just realized that okay, if I'm ever because I didn't know what I was doing really in the beginning but I somehow did something right. Like that I ran Facebook ads to this page and we
Yep.
would I'm telling you, 30% of people, 3 out of 10 people would put their email in here, which was crazy. Like the industry standard is 1 or 2%. And
Yep.
so then I just realized I'm like, okay, simple. Always just keep it really simple. And that's something I try to hang on to that because this was like my greatest work of art. It was just like just this. That's
Looks
it.
looks
That's
perfect. I mean,
all
looks
you
perfect
need.
because it's very simple. Yeah,
Just
just
in 2 seconds. This is all somebody needs to know. And that was it. Like it it was unbelievable how well it worked. Like even I tried to take that now, even here, like even on my actual website, I really strive to just make it the most simple website anyone has seen. Just really simple. Like this. And I think this is like at the more complex side of things. But even this is I want to tell you exactly what it does, what's the benefits, and then what's the features, and then I just give you one option. You can just join the community or go away, and that's it. I don't even want to. I just try and keep it really simple. Not everybody agrees with this necessarily, but I found that in terms of the numbers, like especially for the other one that I showed you, it just yeah I don't have this one hosted anymore, but it the proof was in the numbers, where basically like
yeah.
it people
But
responded well to
mm,
this.
but you use ClickFunnels, right?
I used to use ClickFunnels. This was actually that's why I don't have it anymore because it's just I use Webflow now.
Ah, Webflow.
I
Webflow
hate
is
ClickFunnels now. It's just so expensive. I don't know. Have you used ClickFunnels before?
no, no, but I know they are a little bit different than WordPress, for example.
Yeah,
It's more
it's for funnels,
for funnels. Yeah, exactly.
but it's so expensive.
Exactly.
That's 150 a month at their lowest plan or something. And
Yeah, that's expensive.
and then I was just thinking, I'm like, even for me, if I invest my time and energy into it's not even just the money. It's like I'm investing my time and energy into learning how to use ClickFunnels. And then at that time, it's if someone comes up to me and they ask me to make a website, then what I'm going to make it in ClickFunnels. And then they're going to ask me, and then they're going to see how much it costs to use ClickFunnels. So that was a problem because like then the issue became like, oh, if I tell clients like, yeah, okay, I'm going to build you your website here on ClickFunnels, and they're just like, whoa, it costs 150 a month to use that. So then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna, that's embarrassing. I'm gonna use Webflow instead. So it's if they pay 20 a month, it's just a lot easier to comprehend for people.
Yeah, this is it's expensive, so Webflow I think is better. It's
Yeah. Actually, what did I want to show? Oh, I'll just quickly show you what I made in the software this week because I thought it was cool.
yeah.
Maybe you'd appreciate this. So I made this where let's say remember last time, or I already showed you the custom link stuff where you can put someone's name. Now, this was tricky. I wanted to make it so that when you copy this, that you can copy it for your email and you're not, and then when you paste it, right? Let's say now you want to paste it like here, that it actually shows up like this was tricky because the thing is that it doesn't, when you copy it's Google only will only do that. Gmail will only show you this if you actually copy the visual representation of this embed, right? As if you just highlighted it and copied it. Because if you are just copying the straight up HTML code, it's just going to post the code.
The code, yeah.
Over there. So I spent 2 days trying to figure out how will it work how am I going to actually copy the visual part of this? And it turned out to be like you had to convert it into a blob, and from the blob you'd send it to the clipboard, and then it works. But yeah, I was really happy with this. I'm like, because at one point I'm like, this is impossible, this is just not going to work, but it ended up working. So I was happy with this because the whole point of it is there's no point to have a room if nobody wants to visit it. And so I wanted to have a link that shows you the room visually, and when you get the email, so that you're like more likely to click on it. And then what I want to do next is that where it says claim your market, I want it like for name, I want the actual screenshot to change for every person. So it's claim your market Renee, claim your market Rob, claim your in the actual screenshot. So that when you get this from somebody, then you're just like, oh shit, like that room's actually for me. Like my name is there. So like it just increased the chances that the person wants to click on it. So yeah, that's something that I added in.
And one question that works also in other inboxes, like for example.
Yeah. The only thing with other inboxes is sometimes they have different dimensions. So all I got to do is I'm going to make a drop down menu where you can choose your CRM or whatever inbox you're using. So it just changes the dimensions of what it's exporting. So it's bigger or smaller depending on whatever plays nicely with that specific email. But yeah, it works if you copy and paste it into other places. So yeah, and it works.
Looks really good. Looks really good because now you can visualize the image when you copy paste that.
Yeah,
right?
like instead of clicking on this, instead of sending this link, which is like sketchy, it's like what the they're telling me like what the hell is digital room?
What the hell is that?
Like I don't want to click on that. Versus this is, oh okay, that looks interesting. My name is there. Like that was made for me. I'll go check it out. Like a little bit of psychology.
More personalized, right?
Yeah, personalized, right? It's crazy. Like I feel the key to this might just be like lies in like those small details of the personalization.
Yeah.
To get someone to actually want to click on it.
So right now, do you have a landing page for this digital room? I don't remember.
I have a landing page. This is like a placeholder for now. It is a placeholder for now, actually. And so I'm going to completely change this because it's just needs to be different and better, maybe more simple in certain ways. But yeah, that's what it is right now. One page closes. This is going to change. All that going to change. But yeah, that's what I got right now. Good. Nothing to really like.
Looks nice. I like the image.
Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, one page close. Audio materials on one page. Have attention. Same page. Oh,
I know I'm going to change it, but feel free to tell me what you
Mhm.
think of even how it is right now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to read easily work with
Sorry.
hospital. I like the structure of the page, but I
It's like
think
visually appealing.
exactly it's visually appealing. So maybe yeah, there of course in the future you need to change the testimonials
Yeah.
to the valid ones. Also, what is maybe how can I use digitalroom.ai, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I think
that's
exactly. It needs to become more like the headline that you have on your page, which is like,
Mhm.
what does it do exactly? Like within 5 seconds.
convert more
Yeah. Like
convert more leads through
con-
digital room, something
convert
like
more
that. Or
leads, send better follow-up emails, send emails people actually read. I don't know, something like
exactly because when I read one page close, I mean,
like
what is that? What can I do with that?
yeah,
All
it needs to be like a
materials on one page.
statement. Send something people actually read or like that functional benefit.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I read all your materials on one page, I say I can do that with Word or with other
Exactly.
attention
Yeah.
tracking.
And that's not really the benefit. The benefit is more like the tracking, the engagement, the just the getting of it's just putting everything, yeah, it's putting everything in one place, which people do, but it's more about more from a more from a sales perspective, like where if you send people that link afterwards, like you have a phone call with them, are they going to click on it? Are they going to come and actually go to that link? Sometimes if you have a sales call with someone, you send 5 different links to them. Here's our conversation. Here's that PDF I was going to send you. And then they just look at that email. Okay, I'm not going to read this. Versus if you just put it all in one place and it's compelling enough that they want to go to that room. And then once they're in that room, you're actually able to see that they interacted with your material. Then
Mhm.
it's just so somehow I need to be able to put that as the benefit on the
Yeah,
page.
but overall it looks really good. I like the colors, the purple color. I
Not
like
bad, right? The
the way
purple's not
you.
too bad.
It's not too bad. Yeah. Also, I like the colors that you use in your title. It's okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I should have been a website designer, maybe.
Yeah. Also me, right?
It would be easier than this.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally
It'd
true.
definitely be
Totally
easier.
true. Totally true. So
Tell you something really quickly, but
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
which I thought maybe you would find this interesting, but I built all of this using low code.
Okay. Low code. Hmm.
Low code, yeah. So
Hmm.
this entire website, everything that you see is built using Webflow.
Oh,
Like
okay.
all of this is built with Webflow. And all the logic is built with something called WizEd. Data in, data out, load the pages, load the user information. Everything is built using WizEd to put in the actual to pull the data from the backend, which is used built with Xano as for the database of users and all the information. So like I used for the 3 components, right, which is like the front end and the logic and the back end, I decided for this project to do low code for all 3 of them.
That's
And
good because that's
because
the
I
new
wanted to
way,
just make
right? I
it
mean,
like I wanted to make it easier on myself somehow. It turned out it was still a lot of work, but it allowed me to really push the limits and find out what can you do with low code. And it turns
yep.
out so I'm not sure where everything will go, but just even in general, I'm just happy that this is crazy. Like I'm pretty much able to do anything I want with low code, which it's has its own benefit, I guess. People like low code is becoming more popular, so who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. And you're using JavaScript to do the logic, right?
Yeah,
The
that's the thing.
components.
That's why I say low code and not no code, because there's still a lot of code. If you want to, just like this, if you want this to work, for example, you're going to have to write code for that to work. But it gets you, there's a lot of areas where you can save a lot of time and streamline things. So, yeah, where you do write code, I use JavaScript and I use, yeah, mostly just actually just JavaScript.
Yeah. Yeah. In my case, I use Java, not JavaScript.
Yeah,
Java.
I know. I remember you mentioned it.
Java, but it's difficult, right?
Do you
Because
like
you
using
need to
Java?
do. I like Java. Yeah, I like Java a lot more than Python because JavaScript, I think it's also like a good programming language. I like Java because you have a formal structure to program, and there is also Spring Boot that
Yeah.
is a well-known Java library, and I like
Yeah.
that. And all the logic, all the APIs, everything is happening in Java, and I love programming in Java. I really love
So you
programming.
use it for the back end and the front end.
Exactly. I'm
Nice.
using Java for the backend and also for the front end, which is very rare. I want to be
I
honest.
wonder, is there a huge difference between Java and JavaScript?
Yeah, it's a
Is it
lot
like
of.
huge, the difference?
Yeah, it's not huge, but I think there are differences. Yeah, but
I, yeah, go
I
ahead.
knew that they put JavaScript because at that when they invented JavaScript, Java was popular, so they put Java in the name.
Yeah, like that, because I'm just wondering now what's the similarities, because they have the exactly like they share the same name. So it seems like you would think that it's an iteration of that, but it might not be.
Yeah, it's not. It's just yeah, but I think at least in my case, my SaaS, the important thing is the algorithm behind the user interface.
Yeah,
That is that is where the value, where the knowledge is the
yeah.
algorithm. It's not because there are like SaaS that they have really cool user interfaces and
It's to be
they are
beautiful and beautiful UX and all that stuff.
exactly at the beginning of my journey. I realized that the true value is the algorithm because
Yeah,
that is the thing that I sell.
yeah. If that
Right?
doesn't
So
work, then there's no product.
exactly that
You know,
doesn't work. You
that's what you're
know,
judged on at the end of the day, right?
ex-
Like for my one, it's a bit different because it's more of a visual experience for the prospect has to enjoy looking at the page and clicking through the page. Everyone has to enjoy actually using it. But yeah, like you said, with yours, it's more the data matters the most, right? And how quickly you get that data. And it could be the ugliest website in the world. Like nobody would care as long as that data has to be the best possible data, right? Like,
data. Exactly. So there are like two your SaaS, my SaaS, and there are other type of SaaS. There are types of SaaS.
yeah,
It's just trying to figure out what is your type of SaaS, where is the true value, right? And
yeah,
how to. So it's quite a journey. This is interesting. And I want to thank you for the time, really, Robert. I
yeah, of
mean,
course.
like you are, I think, the only person that really is helping me with my journey just
I'm
by
happy
having
to.
this conversation. Really, thank you for that. I thank you. Thank you because when you have an idea or you need feedback, you post your idea in Reddit, in the hack. No, nobody gives a damn. Like maybe there is a person that give you like one thumb up. That's cool, but actually, I think we need to continue trying to bring new persons, this
Yeah,
community.
that's what I'm
I
hoping for. And I'm always open to trying or to any ideas for how to bring more people because I think, like you said, it's something that it's very, as much as it's good for you, it's also good for me. And that's why even these conversations, I always look at it as I want people to come and to understand that the point of these conversations is not for me to stand, I'm not standing on a pedestal. Hey, I'm here to teach everybody. It's nothing like that. It's flat. We're all flat on the same level and we're just providing support to each other. And I think that would be amazing if even to just get with time, get a few more people to come and to see the benefits of that. Yeah, so that's the whole point of it. And I think it's amazing that you're showing up, honestly, like every week, because I used to show up and nobody would show up. So even you're the second person, and now if we get the third person, fourth person, then who knows? Then the ball will start rolling. But I'm very happy that you're enjoying it because
conversation because at least I can share my ideas. I can help you with also your
yeah,
ideas.
exactly.
If you need help, maybe strategies how to grow more
Yeah, for
quickly.
sure.
So that's the key. And also sharing knowledge. I am not
Yeah,
afraid, sharing knowledge. Like the knowledge is there. Do it,
yeah,
right? Just
yeah,
go and try it. And if you maybe you lose a battle, but there is the war is still on. You need to continue fighting.
yeah.
And
And it's helpful to have people to talk to because it's a hell of a war out there to try to do something like this. So it is helpful. And like I said, the whole idea of this interaction, everything is that it's flat. Everybody is on the same level. And I'm gonna try to figure out, I'm gonna keep communicating that in the group, share the video of our conversations. But if there is anyone that or anybody who wants to join the calls, I'm not sure, but I'm always happy for more people, like to try to get this growing, because I think it could be something like really great. At least I'm doing my best to
Perfect.
make it great.
Perfect. Perfect, Robert. Here, everyone is learning. Everyone is learning because I think this is the role, right? That we need to have learning and trying new things and
Yeah, being
learn
open-minded
and
and
be
have to keep
open-minded
learning.
and right, don't
Otherwise
and
you die.
adapt.
Otherwise you're gonna die. If you don't, if you either you sink or you swim. And I think, yeah, and also I think mentally, I think it's also healthy, like for people
Yeah.
to come and to talk. And like, I swear sometimes I used to complain all the time to my girlfriend. I'd be like about my business and stuff, and she doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't even understand what I'm talking about. It was actually not good for my relationship, like to
Yeah.
always. So it's good, like it's good for us to maybe complain to each other than to go tell, like you said, like, your mom will always love you, but she doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and same thing with everybody else in real life. They're like, "Oh, you're crazy. We don't even know what you're talking about." So this is a place where we all have a similar struggle. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
comforting.
Yeah. I think it's a nice place, and I am confident that it will grow. Will grow the
Thank you.
community, and
Thank you.
don't
I hope so.
trust
I
me.
hope so.
Trust me.
I think with
Um,
people like you showing up, and if we keep doing this and just, I have a feeling, I believe it in too. I honestly, I've
yeah.
been doing this for almost a year now, and I do see something taking hold. So
Yeah.
let's keep going, and I think it'll get there.
Yeah. And the key in everything is be consistent, right? I
Yeah,
mean, continue doing something
all the
step
time,
by step
every week.
because there are like persons that they want to jump from point A to point B, like really,
Yeah,
and it's not like that. You need to go
no.
step by step.
And
That's the way.
every day, so nothing changes. It's always the same. But then one day you look around and everything's different. But if you look day to day, it's all the same. But eventually everything that you've done will have compounded and paid off. But you have to just trust the process, I think. Just
Yeah.
believe that it will be there for you. Like but just you have to do the things today that just they seem like they're just not working. But
Yeah.
every day, that's the hard part. You got to do it every day.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. Thank you. I'm happy that you're enjoying it, and it's my pleasure. I'm happy. Let's keep doing it then. And
Yep. Keep doing.
let's
Think
let's keep working on our projects and actually
perfect.
make this thing work out.
Perfect. So I think we reached top of the hour. I don't know if that's the way you say it.
Top of the hour.
Top of the hour.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Renee.
Thank you.
It was a great conversation. I'll post this one in the group, and yeah, I'm always there. So if you want to, thank you, by the way, for messaging me too in the group. If you ever want to send me anything, I'm always happy to take a look at resources or anything. And yeah, just thank you for being part of the community.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Let's keep going.
Thank you. Keep growing.
Thanks, Renee.
Bye bye.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Have a
Bye.
good day.